Hey everyone, and welcome to Mountain Blade 2 Bannerlord. So in today's video, I'll be doing a step-by-step guide on the smithing skill in the game. Now there's a lot of videos on YouTube already covering this skill, but they don't cover how to get to level 275, which unlocks the last perk for the skill. And that's what we'll be covering in today's video as well. So the very first thing we're going to do for those of you that are level 1 smithing and have no idea what to do, I'm going to go to my character tab here. Now right now my smithing level is 38. To get smithing XP, it says right here, use a smithy to create weapons, refine materials, smelt old weapons. It sounds very simple, it is very simple, but this is extremely time consuming, and here's why. Right down here, you can see my endurance is 20.92. This uses endurance every time you smith something, smelt something, refine something, which means then you have to go rest, and that's why it takes so long, but we'll get to more of that later on in the video. Now the next thing is, if you are really wanting to just focus smithing, max out these bars. These are focus point bars. If you max these out, your learning rate multiplier will go up higher for each bar that's filled out. So right now my rate is 5.54. And the other quick thing I'd like to mention is if you are just starting out and you have, 10 to 20,000 gold to your name, and you're just kind of starting your adventure on your playthrough, I would advise holding off on smithing. This skill can be very expensive. I'm not saying you need a few million gold to do this, but if you could spend, 50 to 100k gold on materials, that would be what you want. Now here's why I think this skill is so important. Right here is level 275 Legendary Smith. You have a 5% chance to create a legendary weapon. This increases by 1% for every skill point beyond 300. So if you hit 301, then you have a 6% chance. And this is why I think this skill is so important, because this has to be the way to get the best weapons in the game. With smithing, you can craft any weapon that you want. Your maces, hatchets, two-handed axes, swords, daggers, throwing knives, you name it, weapon-wise, you can make it. And it only makes sense that this would be how to get the best variants of those weapons. Now at level 200, you can also have the Master Smith, which is a 10% chance to create a masterwork weapon. And at level 100, there's a fine weapon one as well, which is also a 10% chance. Now the other thing you can do with this as well, once you are 200 or 275 and you're crafting legendary weapons, you can sell them to traders and merchants. Now there is a penalty for doing so, based off of, I think it's this one right here. Yep, this perk, you can see trade penalty while selling smith weapons is halved. So if you use that perk, it'll deduct 50% of the penalty. So that's what smithing's about, why it's important. So let's get into how to actually start it for those of you that are level 1. So you can go to any city on the map, and you're going to have to buy a blacksmith hammer, hardwood, and at least iron ore to start. So if we scroll down, any city will have a blacksmith hammer. There's one right there for 67 gold. You only need one. You do not need multiple. They do not break. They just have to be in your inventory somewhere. Next thing you're going to do is click on miscellaneous up here in the top right. And this is where you'll see the different stuff they have. So they have 3 iron ore right now in this city. I am going to buy that. They have no hardwood. Any city can carry hardwood, or they might not. It's just based off what traders are bringing into the city. Now your options here are to either just wait out and check again, see if there's any in there, or what you can do is there are some guaranteed spawns for this. So like this village, for example, you can see the primary production for it is hardwood. So if I go there, more than likely they will have some for sale. I believe it maxes out at like 113 or 131, somewhere in there. And let's see if they have any right now. They might not. It is possible. So they have 56 for sale right now. I am going to buy it. That brings me up to 672. Now the hardwood is the most important piece for smithing, because it's basically the backbone in a sense, because it turns into charcoal, and you need charcoal to do anything for this skill. So guys, once we have the materials in our hammer, we're going to go back to any city that you want. It does not matter because there's a smithy in all of them, and we're going to be going to the smithy. Now once you are here, the first thing you have to do is make charcoal. I already have 47, but all you do is click on refine. This will be your basic or your default choice. If you, at level 25, if you choose to use the perk that I have, where it gives you, it's for 3 hardwood equals 2 charcoal, then you'll have this option as well. So I'm just going to burn these down. Now you can see right here I can't do anymore. It says you must rest and spend time before you can do this action again. And this is where it becomes time consuming, because it's based off your endurance. So now I'm going to click here, wait for time. Now I don't have this exactly down for this part, but it seems like basically if you do it when it's nighttime and the moon's out, when the sun comes up, we can stop waiting and enter the smithy again. So once you have some charcoal, the next thing you're going to do is figure out how you want to craft your weapon. But before we get too far into that, you're probably already wondering, well, how do I unlock all these different pieces here? And it's very simple. There's only two ways I know of, and I think there's only two ways in the game. One, you can craft this sword, or you can craft what you have available to you, and this will unlock pieces as you go. Now, the easier way, the more effective way, in my opinion, is if you go to smelt, any weapons you get from battles or you basically don't sell to a merchant, anything in your inventory, you can smelt for parts. So like, for example, I have 6 of these woodland axes, and it'll give me 4 of those bars and 1 wood, and that's per axe. That's not for all 6. So if I click on this, I have a chance to unlock a piece to a weapon, and we'll see if I can get one. Like right there, Eastern Simple Oval Guard. Now, based off what you're smelting does not mean that's what you're going to unlock for parts for that type of weapon. So for example, if you are smelting down these long swords, that's not a guarantee that when you do get a part, it's going to be for swords. You could get it for axes, hatchets, maces, any other type of weapon. So once you have all that figured out, the next thing you have to do is finally start crafting your swords. Now you can see down here this negative, this is what it will take away from the sword when I go to forge it, which I can't do right now because we get the rest, which we'll do really quickly. So now as you can see, we can forge something. So I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys here. So do we have another blade? We don't. That's okay. So this size right here, this is not for the whole sword. That's just for the one piece of the sword. So it's just for the blade. So if I come here to the handle, you can see when I change that, it changes the length of the handle, and it will also change this over here on the left side, the difficulty as well. Just to show you guys, if I came down here and chose this one, and see that the difficulty raises, you have a less chance of being able to craft this. And if you do craft it, you're probably not going to get the stats that are shown here. So we're going to put this one back on. We're going to raise that up. And we're going to choose, I like that handle, we'll raise that one up as well. Let's go with that one. So there's our sword. This is what we want to craft, so let's give it a shot. So here we go. Now this is actually a perfect example of this. So you guys over here, this is the base stats for what you're about to craft. And this is what we got. So our swing speed, we actually got -5 compared to the 88 that's there. We got 83. Our thrust, we got +1. And our swing cut, we got -2. So obviously this is not really that good of a weapon. This is something we can actually smelt back down for resources if we wanted to. And that is it, guys. That is what you do for smithing. Now let me show you what I'm going to be doing to hit level 275. And keep in mind, this will take a very long time to do. So I'm going to go back to the smithy. So what I'm going to be doing is all these weapons I have in here, none of these are bought. These are all from battles. This is actually from wiping 2 factions. Like this axe alone, I have 998 of them. So what I will be doing is this all costs 1 charcoal a piece. You can see, like, if I click on it, it shows you what you'll get for the turn-in. I'm going to be breaking down every single thing in my inventory. I'm going to see what level it gets me to. I'm going to see what we unlock, and then we'll pick up from there. So I will see you guys once I have all of this stuff burned down and smelted, and I will show you guys exactly what I unlocked randomly from it, and we'll see what level I'm at by then. Alright guys, so I finally just finished off my last 2. Well, I have what, a few more of these, I guess. I gotta keep one hammer though. But this is what I have left. My whole inventory is empty. Here's everything we got from that entire inventory of different weapons to smelt down. I am level 101 now from that, which I feel like is pretty good. This took me a very long time to do, just so you are aware. I have spent pretty much all day yesterday and a little bit today doing this, but here we are. So I'll show you some of the stuff I do have unlocked. I still have a lot that is still locked, but I'm sure we'll start unlocking more once I start crafting stuff, obviously, which the most XP, by the way, is from crafting weapons. That's where most of your XP is going to come into play. So we'll just kind of quickly just look at some of the different blades we unlocked. I kind of like that one. That's kind of neat. We unlock any cool looking... Oh, that's kind of neat looking. Oh, that is sweet looking. I really... Difficulty 182. It looks nice. I won't be able to craft it for a long time, though. Okay. What else we got? We got anything really fancy down here? Oh, we do. Oh, that is so nice looking. It's got emeralds in it and stuff. That is sweet. And what we got. Oh, that looks so good. I am really happy with those turnouts. I get to look at any of this, by the way. I have done nothing but just grind on that smelting stuff. So guys, that is where we are at right now. There are some of the unlocks I have. I honestly thought I unlocked a lot more than I did. But we're going to keep going though. I'm sure we'll unlock a lot of stuff as we start crafting things. I just have to kind of figure out what I want to craft. What I'll probably do is like the gold stuff, because I know that requires a higher difficulty, and if I can get it, I'll get more XP off of it, so that will be nice. And let's see, we had... Oh god, that handle is so good looking. The difficulty's super high though. I don't know if we're going to be able to pull it. But anyway guys, I'm going to go craft a bunch of different swords and stuff, and I will see you at the end of this journey. We will see what level we are at when this is all said and done. Okay, so we just hit level 200. You guys can see down here. Smithing 200. We just unlocked the Master Smith, which is that 10% chance to craft masterwork weapons. I have not done that yet. I'm kind of curious to see how that's going to go. But there's a few things I want to cover with you guys that will help you progress a lot faster than what I did yesterday. If I would have been doing this yesterday, I'd be a lot further than I currently am. So the first thing is, if you can see where I am on the map right now, this is the best spot I have found so far to find vendors that are selling hardwood to turn into charcoal. That's my biggest issue I'm having right now, is just keeping up on the wood so I have charcoal to make weapons and to make bars and stuff like that. So there is 6 spots that I'm hitting right now, which I'll show you guys. We're going to start here in this city. There might be nothing in the city right now because I did just buy some wood from here, but we're going to trade here first and see what they have. They have 10. I will say on a normal run, I'm getting between 500 and 600 wood. Now if we come down here, these 2 villages, this one and this one, both are a primary production for wood. So I'm going to do those 2 next. We'll see what they have. They have 108. The 6 spots we're going to be hitting in total, 3 of them are cities and 3 of them are villages. Which is really nice because the villages always pretty much have a decent amount every time you hit them. Usually. Except that one has 39, of course it does. And then I go up to this city up here. So we were already halfway done with our route here. Let's see what they have right now. They have 212. That's actually a lot. That's the most I've seen so far since I've been doing this. Now we're going to go to this village right here, which is another, their main production is also wood. And then we're going to hit that city right there, and that's the 6 that I've been running right now every time I need to get charcoal. My usual take home, like I said, is between 500 and 600 every time I do it. And it only takes a few minutes to do. What I was doing initially was I was just kind of running around the map to random cities and villages I could find that sold it. And it was taking me a lot longer to do that, unfortunately. Now the last thing I wanted to cover really quickly with you guys is the profit I am making off of this, because I am making a really good profit right now. At level 175, you can get the perk that the trade penalty while selling smith weapons is halved. And that is a must-have. I'm telling you, if you want to make some money off of this skill, you really can. And in my opinion, I think right now this is the best money-making method currently in the game. I'm going to show you why. So if I go to my inventory here, and I go to melee weapons, look how much these swords are worth right now a piece. 5,923. Now I'm going to bring up a calculator really quickly. I will add this up for you guys off screen here. So just for those alone, I actually have 71 of them because I'm equipping one, but we're just going to do the 70. That's 414,000 gold. And those swords took me maybe 15 minutes to make all 70 of them. That's insane. So now I'm going to go get to 275 and we're going to start crafting some legendary weapons and see what that's like. I'll see you guys in a bit. Okay, it is finally time. After almost 4 days of doing nothing but this, I am finally about to hit 275 smithing. We're going to wait. Enter the smithy. Now it took me so long just because I made some mistakes along the way, which I will get to here in a minute once we hit 275. But I'm going to keep crafting the swords I've been crafting. They sell for a lot of money. And they give a pretty good chunk of XP as well. Should be very close. I have to rest again. Let me see. How close are we? So there we are. So we are what, about 4,000 XP away right now from 275, which will unlock the 5% chance to craft a legendary weapon. So I guess since we're here, you guys can see these are the skills I went with. I highly recommend you go with this right here. This will allow you to craft every bar that's in the game. If you don't take these, I don't think you can actually craft them, which would be super annoying because then you have to rely on smelting different weapons just to get those bars. And the only other one that's like super important in my opinion is this one, which if you ever want to make money off of this, you can take the trade penalty and just split it in half. So you know, the penalty is only 50% instead of 100% of what it would be. And you can make some good money off of this. Like the swords I'm making right now sell for over 6k a piece. So we might hit it right here. The only other issue I really have with smithing is that every time I come back in here, the sword's set back to like default. And I have to change it every single time. And I'm pretty sure there's not a way to actually just have it saved to what you previously had it on. Which does kind of suck, especially if you're trying to level it up when you get to the point where you're just doing nothing but maxing out forges. Because this is where the bulk of your XP will be, is from forging weapons. And guys, there we go. We are now level 275. It has happened. So, I'm going to unlock that. I don't know why I have an extra unlock. Obviously, there's nothing there. But now we have a 5% chance to create a legendary weapon. Okay, everyone, so there will be another video coming out here pretty shortly where it's just nothing but me crafting legendary weapons. And we'll see what they end up turning out like. I'm pretty excited to see it myself. We'll be doing swords, axes, the maces, the spears, throwables, pretty much everything just to see what it's like. Now the other thing I just want to mention really quickly, just to go over everything in a whole here, basically how I did this was I just collected a bunch of weapons from battles, raiding cities, raiding castles. I smelted all of them down. We took all the resources we got from that, and we just started crafting weapons from there up to 275. I did not have to buy any more weapons from the ones I already had. I actually have a ton of resources left over right now just to get to 275. I had more than enough. The only thing I ever had to buy was hardwood, which I showed you guys where I was doing that at. Once I got to that spot, it made this a lot easier to do, but this did take me roughly 4 to 4.5 days in real life to get to 275. It probably won't take you as long to get there, especially if you don't make the mistakes I did with the hardwood thing. I spent a lot of hours just trying to get hardwood. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I do really appreciate it. There's gonna be a bunch of videos coming out tomorrow, the next few days from here on. So thank you for watching. I will see all of you in the next video.